Hey guys, Wade here from WBTV, and welcome back to Planet Coaster Episode 2. So last episode we worked on the store and that building, and then we put some trees around the other episode. Now I did get some complaints about how that was boring and how they didn't want to see that. So this episode I put a time lapse at the beginning, just of me building the coaster, so you don't have to watch that because that takes a while. So I originally built this like really bad suspended coaster, and then this episode took me a while to come together. That's why there was no Planet Coaster last week. But I decided to build wood coasters because I really like the look of wood coasters in this game. I think they're extremely realistic. Now, just as a little disclaimer, at the end of this video, you don't see the full ride on the coaster, because the coaster didn't actually work. So if you're looking this video and you're saying that the coaster doesn't look like as good, or the coaster doesn't the coaster looks different in the next video than it does in this video, that's because the coaster doesn't actually work. So I had to take a whole bunch of time off camera, which I've already done, to fix the coaster and make sure that it works. So we're getting to the end of the time lapse here, and we're going to get into the actual episode. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, I will see you at the end of the episode, I guess. Hey guys, Wade here from WBTV, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. Okay guys, so today I just built this coaster on a time lapse. I'm sure I've done some voiceover on that before. Now we are working on just making the coaster look nice, doing the scenery. I think the coaster looked pretty good, came together not too bad. It's a little bit tall, compared to that other metal coaster, which is actually really low, but we're going to rise the ground up. We're going to bring the terrain up around the coaster, and then we're going to put in some scenery and other stuff like that. So, yeah, I just got the scenery window open here. No, it's not in the scenery window. Why am I opening up the scenery window? Looking for terrain. Here we go. Okay, so I really like the terrain tools in this game. I find that they work well. I mean, I think they're better than the terrain tools in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, which would get me really annoyed, because that whole game was like the introduction to 3D graphics. So the game was like very grid based. So it didn't look real, and it didn't look good at all. Now I got this massive cliff. Yeah, not use the pull tool, push tool, push. So it's kind of got this really cool idea of a pull and a push. So the pull kind of pulls the ground up, the push pushes the ground back. It has a flattened foundation, which you just run over. Anything flattens to the original grade, I guess, of the park. That's fancy landscape terminology, grade, yeah. For some reason, it decided to lift that path up there. I don't know. Well, now it's got a giant chunk out of it. Fix that. But I really like the terrain tools in this game. The people who made Planet Coaster Frontier, they were developers on Roller Coaster Tycoon World, and they were also developers on The people who made Planet Coaster Frontier were the main developers for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and kind of watched over in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. So they already knew how the Tycoon roller coaster game worked, and they knew how to bring it into the new century. But for Atari had filed for bankruptcy so many times, they decided that their best way to get out of bankruptcy was to pull Roller Coaster Tycoon out of its grave, which is what Frontier was technically trying to do, but they were going to start a new franchise. But okay, here we go. Now I fixed the hill. Yeah, that was pretty horrible. But they decided to start a new franchise in Roller Coaster Tycoon World. Their original idea was just to create a mobile app called Roller Coaster Tycoon for mobile. And honestly, I don't think you can do a tycoon game like this in a mobile app. I tried the app. It just honestly didn't work. It had a whole bunch of in-app purchases. Yeah, don't get me started talking about Roller Coaster Tycoon World. But this game came out beautiful. It was like it's the second game that Frontier has developed themselves. So they really kind of put their extra stuff in it that normal developers would not put. So they it's kind of like it's the only game that if you go to the Frontier's website, they have like an entire page for Planet Coaster, just because it's the only game they really have to be focusing on, other than this other game that they have. I've never played it, so don't take my word for it. So now we get into the scenery of the park. So I like to put side of generic trees, same as the other place, just kind of theme it together. This coaster is a little bit awkward because it's kind of tightly packed, but it's tall. So it took me a while with the mountains, and I put a little lake in it just because I didn't think that it looked good. But it took me a while to kind of figure out the coaster and how the coaster was going to work. I hope you enjoyed Monday's video. That video got a very well respond. To like my main critics is Joey Johnson, who's my friend, and then there's Jacob Laslet and Liam Flynn, who they talk about my channel in math class all the time and tell me how to fix it. Sometimes I don't listen to what they say because it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so I've been working on this channel, and Kevin for Mayor was kind of the anchor of the channel, almost something that to kind of pull, something that everything could tap on. So there's going to be a Kevin for Mayor special gameplay next week, which is going to the cast for Kevin for Mayor playing Battlefield 1. There's going to be probably a Kevin for Mayor, something that has to do with Kevin for Mayor, every week until the show comes out, that's something that I've kind of committed to doing. So yeah, so the Kevin for Mayor, the trailer that I posted got a really good response. Friends coming up to me asking me when I was going to create Kevin for Mayor, and they just can you bring it in, can you show it to me before you show it on your YouTube channel, because they just wanted to see it so badly. So that's why I decided to move the date forward. I also got that video just got lots of views, more than my normal amount of views. Brought in like 5 subscribers. So I think that Kevin for Mayor is something that was people wanted. So I moved the date forward, and I made an effort to finally finish the show. So the first episode is done. I am doing the first edit on it right now. So if you guys have never edited before, editing is fun. I love editing. I've heard people who don't like editing. I love editing. I find it's a good way to reflect back on your work and your videos. But anyway, so I'm doing the first edit. So the first edit is just like a rough edit, throwing all the clips together. I had all the clips together. I just had like little breaks for when the clips that we need to film. So I put them all in. I throw it all together. Now I gotta do like the little intros in between each scene, and I'm redoing the intro to the show because I had it done, last April when I wrote the show, last March actually, and yeah, that didn't. Your ideas change when you write a show. Here's something that Planet Coaster put in that's really cool. They put in these triggers. So what you do is you place these little geyser things on the ride, and then yeah, their water effects in this game are really fun. But I think this water effect is a little bit too big. But whoa, yeah, that's massive. But they got all kinds of effects. They got fire effects. They got laser effects. I've used their water effects in many rides. I'm gonna do a dark ride later, in this Let's Play, because if you guys don't know, we're going to be building this entire park. So we're going to be building this entire park through a series of episodes. So right now is episode 2, 3, normally sometimes I go to 20 episodes, sometimes I go to 30 episodes. It all depends on how long it takes. This one might be up to 40, just because they're only 20-minute videos. And then at the end, we'll have a Ride the Rides video, which is when we're just going to ride all the rides in the park and kind of, view on the park at the end. That's normally the longest video. So what you do is you drag these triggers here, and then you click add to trigger, and it doesn't move. The geyser doesn't shoot up unless the coaster passes that specific point. So I put them where it gets really close to the water here, because as a coaster flies through the water normally splashes up. Not this much. This is a little bit of over-exaggeration, but it does. So I put them close to the coaster here, because in the game it won't actually make the water splash up. But if I put them there, the water will also splash up. Plus, it's a ride. It's supposed to be entertaining. If you get wet in a ride, all the better. It's not that wet. It's just a little bit of drops, but I think it's adds a little bit more to the coaster. So back to what I was talking about, the Kevin for Mayor. Yeah, so Kevin for Mayor was always something that I knew needed to be, that I knew I wanted to post on YouTube. So that's where the kind of whole idea of the channel came in, the talk show, all that stuff. If you want to hear more about the YouTube channel and how it came together, watch the last Planet Coaster Let's Play, because I talked about that. And I think it's a good show. I mean, there's some funny lines in it. I can't give you. I have the script right in front of me. Right. Yeah, I just hit it with the microphone with the script, but the script is right here. For the episode, because I was editing earlier today. Hello. Guess what, Mike? I learned about the new letter called the uke. That's all I can tell you from the script. So if you want to see it, watch October 28th, which is the Saturday. And those of you who are Stranger Things fans know that Stranger Things comes out on the Friday of that week. Yeah, Stranger Things Season 2. So next Monday is going to be a Stranger Things WBTV episode. So we're going to be talking about Stranger Things and our theories behind Stranger Things and what we think is going to happen in Season 2. I think that video is going to look really nice when it comes together. We haven't filmed it yet, but I think that's a video that's going to help bring subscribers to the channel, at least, because Stranger Things is something that people search on YouTube all the time. Especially with this approaching new season, people will definitely be wanting to know what's going on. If you're wondering why I seem to be a little bit in the past in this video, that's because last week I told you that I forgot to turn on my microphone. This week, I did turn on my microphone. However, the audio quality on my PC, because of those of you who don't know this game is only PC-based gaming. It didn't sound good. It didn't sound good at all. It sounded better when I voice over it Final Cut Pro on my Mac. So that's what I did. So I'm doing this now, and all Planet Coaster videos will have this voiceover Let's Play on the Mac, because it did not sound good. The audio didn't sound good at all on my PC. It sounded all muffled, and if you want to hear the audio, I can. So it turns out, what I was going to say is I can play. It turns out I can't play, because if I go to play the clip, it stops the voice recording. So now we're back. Yeah, so the audio was very choppy and wasn't very good. I'm not very happy with this recording. Xbox, no, it's Microsoft Game Capture, I think. I don't know, it's just pre-installed on my device. It's like press the Windows button, G, every time I start it if you wanted to open it. So, yeah, so I'm probably going to use something else to record the next video. But, so I hope you enjoyed that little Kevin for Mayor behind the scenes. There will be another trailer coming out sometime. I don't know, updated trailer with the updated dates, and maybe just a little bit more of the actual, plot of the first episode, not just a kind of overview of the show, maybe a little bit more details on what's going on in the episode. And if you guys would like, we can release some more bloopers and some more behind the scenes, because we definitely have lots of those videos. So we're just working on the trees here. Again, we kind of had this dead spot of trees in between where I just built the coaster and where the existing trees were. After I think we decorate the coaster, I think it looks like it fits in a lot more. That's one thing that I learned watching YouTube Let's Plays from a guy named Flabaliki. If you want to see some more Planet Coaster Let's Play, and I don't have one up that week, go watch his channel. I don't know if he posts them anymore. He was posting a Planet Coaster Let's Play hard mode, but then he stopped, and I haven't been on his channel in a while to check out. But he plays Planet Coaster and a whole bunch of other simulator games, but I learned from him really a lot of the skills that I have in Planet Coaster. I was one of those people who just placed all the rides really close together and placed paths and was like done. But I kind of learned watching those videos how to make your parks look nice, and how to make your parks look like lush and actually like a real park and not like a whole cluster of rides. And also how to I used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon all the time, and it never had sandbox mode, and I could still keep the money rolling. I almost did it like you would. I would place rides far spread apart, get the money in from those rides, and then each ride was kind of like a different section. And then as I got a lot of money, or as I got money, I would tear down that ride and build up that whole section and then open it up. And that would bring in enough revenue to go to the next section, tear down the one ride and put in like 10. And a whole bunch of paths and stalls, and it worked out perfectly. My parks were the best. I think Diamond Dunes was the name of the map that I played all the time, because it was my favorite. I can make these beautiful parks and stuff. That game is really, really fun, and if you want, I might buy it on Steam just to do a Let's Play on it on here, because that game is so fun. From when I remember it, it was just, it's a blast. But I've tried, money mode on Planet Coaster is so easy. The money is like so non-realistic in the game that it's just extremely easy to play the money mode on this, or hard mode, or easy mode, or whatever it's called. Even hard mode is not that hard. So we're just going to place a little flat ride over here. Now, it's not going to be as detailed as those other two flat rides that I did, because that was almost kind of like a separate section in itself. But this is kind of just something to keep people entertained, like something along the pathway, so you don't have to walk a far way. I'm probably going to put some more shops and stalls along the pathway, but this is just a quick ride. They actually had one of these at Canada's Wonderland when I first went, when I was a kid, but then they tore it down, and I never understood, because it flips upside down, like, you know, the swinging ship ride that's normally at every amusement park. Well, this is like a rocket ship, so it flips all the way around in a circle, but it was right by all the food stalls, which didn't make any sense to me, because it's like, oh, you eat a burger and then you throw up because you're spinning upside down in circles. Like, why would you? I always thought it was like the worst placement ever of a ride in Canada's Wonderland, but that's my opinion. So, looks like this video is gonna be a little bit shorter than normal. That's honestly just because of the time constraints that I had when I first filmed this video, and then me just never getting around to finishing it. But I did get around to finish filming Kevin Vermeer, which I think is a little bit more important than getting a longer video here, because that seems to be where popular demand is. Now, I know I'm kind of just keep on saying Kevin Vermeer, popular demand, and all this kind of stuff, but it is honestly something that I think will help the channel grow, and I honestly think it's a very good show. My friend Joey, I'm going to show it to him. He's going to be like my review before I release it on the channel. make sure after I've done the final edit, which will probably be in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I will check it over, once. I'll show it to a whole bunch of people, tell me what they think. Then I'll release the final trailer, which will have the, when you see a movie trailer and it's like, oh, people say that it's the best movie they've ever seen. That's what I'll release, quoted. So look out for that. That will probably be in the next upcoming weeks. So it's only like 4 weeks until Kevin Vermeer comes out, which is a little bit of a time crunch for me because I have to get all the editing done in 4 weeks. Which, is not that bad. I've done it before. But it's just going to be, if you're feeling that the gameplay should be longer, the content's a little bit not as pristine or as amazingly edited on here as it is, that's because I'm spending extra time on Kevin Vermeer because to make sure that it's perfect. Honestly, I personally think December 1st was like a way out estimated release date, but November 1st would be ideal, but we figured, bring it out right by Halloween. It has nothing to do with Halloween, but we'll just put it out there anyways, mix it up. Elections, Halloween, ghosts, pumpkins, just throw everything in there. Stranger Things. It's right by Stranger Things, which was not on purpose, but was in my head when I picked the date. I was like, Stranger Things is that weekend. Cool. So yeah, I pushed it out, and if you do notice, we have no ride building around the ride entrance. I will build a ride building. I love building buildings. Tell me in the comments if you want to see that in an actual video, or if you want that to be a time lapse at the beginning of the video, because I can do that, and then the rest of the video will be moving on. But next week will be a Battlefield gameplay, or Battlefront, whatever I feel like doing. And then the week after that will be Planet Coaster. If you're in Canada, this weekend is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I think we're going to ride the ride here. Yep. But you won't see the whole thing because, as I told you before, the ride doesn't work. And I have fixed it, so it's the same coaster, it just the hills aren't as tall. So we're going up the chain lift here. Everybody put your hands in the air. Woo! Yes, I already know it won't work, so it's not as exciting for me as it might be for you, because I was very saddened to know that this ride, I probably should have tested it before I built all the scenery around it, because I destroyed the scenery around it. I almost had to rebuild the whole ride. Whoa, I don't actually like roller coasters, but I don't find this game makes me motion sick. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on Friday. Thank you guys for watching WBTV. If you want to see more gameplay videos, tune in on Wednesday. If you want to see our talk show, tune in on Mondays and Fridays. And if you want to watch more videos, go to our playlists. We have a playlist of all of our gameplays and also a playlist of Season 1 of WBTV. And we hope you guys have a great day.